Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on today's show, we got a couple of EV concept cars that make their debut at the Pebble Beach Concourse. One coming from the folks over at Inifiniti with this all-electric, single-seater, racer-looking machine known as Project 10 Concept. Now, the trick is, Inifiniti didn't release any numbers on this vehicle. No powertrain numbers, no drivetrain numbers as well. But they did say that this is a little look into the future of what Inifiniti cars could look like. They're honestly not going to build something like this, but you could see some little styling cues anywhere around on this machine that could end up on future Inifiniti road cars. Another EV concept that's shown off at Pebble Beach is the PB18 E-Tron for the folks over at Audi. This particular machine has got some impressive numbers, especially its curb weight at just 3,417 pounds, which is lightweight for almost anything on this planet, especially an all-electric vehicle. Comes with a 95 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion electric engine setup that gives you 311 miles of range, and thanks to an 800-volt charger for this vehicle, it can gain back all of that range in just 15 minutes of time. Now, this incredibly sleek-looking shooting brake machine comes with a total output of 764 horsepower, but its biggest trick and probably most intriguing trick comes from the cockpit itself, where it only has one person availability inside of it, and that is the driver, which actually sits in some sort of a pod type situation where you can actually shift basically back and forth as far as left to right. You can actually sit dead center wherever you feel most comfortable as far as driving this particular machine. Just like the Inifiniti, you would love to see one of these pound around a racetrack, but it may be slim to none on the chances on those two facts. Another vehicle that's a track day monster that may have a real tough time actually getting to see one of these in the flesh, or maybe even pounding around a racetrack as well, comes from the folks over at Bugatti. Now, we actually teased this particular vehicle in the last episode. This is a brand new Bugatti Divo. This vehicle is named after a race car driver, a factory race car driver for Bugatti way back in the day, and that's where this car really shines. As the Veyron and the Chiron weren't the most very good track day weapons, this particular machine really ramps that up with a lot of downforce levels. In fact, they've gained a pretty good chunk in the downforce, making over 1,005 pounds of downforce at speed. That's thanks to a fixed rear wing and a fixed front splitter up front. There's a lot of styling changes on this, as it looks quite a bit different than the Chiron does itself. Now, the 8-liter quad turbocharged W16 makes its return in this vehicle. Gets a bump up of power of 1,500 horsepower and 1,180 pounds-feet of torque. 0 to 60 comes in just 2.5 seconds with a top speed of 236 miles an hour. Now, 236, which is still stupid fast, sounds a little bit soft thanks to all that downforce. It really brought the mile-an-hour numbers back from that almost 260 mile-an-hour run to just under that 240 miles an hour. Thanks to all that downforce, this vehicle supposedly can get lateral Gs upwards of 1.6 Gs, which is almost to the point where you'll lose your lunch in that particular situation. Now, the trick is there's only 40 of these built for the world, and supposedly they're all spoken for and already sold, with a starting price of 5 million euros or just under 6 million US. So hopefully one day you or I may actually get to see these in the flesh, but chances are pretty slim. Definitely chances are pretty slim of getting to see one of these at a racetrack. Another track day star that debuted at Monterey Car Week comes from the folks over at Lamborghini, and we have seen this thing at a racetrack because this is the official Nürburgring lap record holder around the Nordschleife loop with a lap record of 6 minutes 44.97 seconds. Now, this particular vehicle that we're going to talk about is actually the one in the background. We're going to talk about the one in the foreground in a wee bit, because this is the brand new Aventador SVJ, aka Super Veloce Yoda. Now, this is a harken back to a vehicle that actually made its official debut back in the 60s, in fact 1963 to be exact. Now, this particular vehicle comes with a 6.5-liter normally aspirated V12, making 759 horsepower and 531 pounds-feet of torque. That is shifted through a 7-speed, single-clutch automatic gearbox. 0 to 60 comes in at 2.8 seconds with a top speed of 217 miles an hour. Tons of downforce work has been done to this particular machine to get that lap record down as far as it can, along with the all-wheel drive system and a 4-wheel steering system in this vehicle as well. Now, the vehicle actually comes with super lightweight parts. It's got a lot of carbon fiber, lightweight alloys wrapped up in Pirelli P0 Super Trofeo tires, or Super Corsa, I should say, P0 tires, which are actually the standard edition tires, but you can bump up to the Trofeo Rs. Those particular tires were the tire of choice for that Nürburgring lap record. Now, 900 of these are going to be built for the world with a starting price of $517,777 US dollars. But the vehicle in the foreground, known as the SVJ63, is going to be a limited edition. Only 63 of these vehicles are going to be built for the world, exclusively in this white with the 63 livery. They haven't released pricing or availability on that, but I'm assuming you're going to pay quite the premium for that particular machine, so we'll definitely keep you in tune of what we hear. And now that we talked about all these vehicles that are way up in the stratosphere, let's talk about something a little bit more normal. The brand new Z4 made its official debut at Monterey Car Week. This particular vehicle comes with a somewhat modest, now to even talk about, turbocharged 3-liter inline 6-cylinder. The vehicle makes somewhere around 350 horsepower. Depends on where you actually get your information. I've seen anywhere from 340 to well north of 350. As far as the horsepower numbers, 0 to 60 comes in somewhere between 4.4 and 4.6. Again, depending on where you actually go. Seeing the particular vehicle in automatic trim, haven't heard whether we're going to get a manual transmission. In fact, we got to wait till next month in September of 2018 to hear about the official spec levels on this particular vehicle, and definitely the trim levels that are going to be available on the vehicle as well. This vehicle, I think, is pretty doggone handsome, even though in a lot of angles it's kind of mundane. Even though they're showing this vehicle in the M40i trim, which is, I'm assuming, going to be the top of the tree on this deal until the Z4M could come out, the full M version. But we'll definitely keep you tuned next month when we get to hear more about these trim levels. It'll be exciting to see what BMW may have up their sleeve. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiast. Don't forget to like us over on the Facebook page. Links down in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time. Get the first dibs on the brand new show as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.